Hey guys, little message here today about originality, about authenticity, and about being you, about being yourself. Again, as with every one of these vlogs, every one of my podcasts, every one of my tutorials, I'm teaching myself again because it's so easy to forget the most simple and most oft repeated messages. So this one is about finding your truest voice, about finding a place where you can do your own thing without worrying what others are thinking. Tie this in with my own career. As a lot of you know, I started out doing corporate films and advertising, which I still do advertising obviously, but corporate films, I haven't done those in many a year now. And with corporate films, I was often asked to replace temp tracks. And with advertising, I was often asked to replace temp tracks. And I'm not knocking that because that process is an incredible way for music editors, supervisors, producers, editors to find a decent mood and pace for their edit. That's fine, but as a composer, when you've got a temp track, that's a temporary track placed on the visuals as a mood reference, right? When you've got those temp tracks, they're so easy, they're magnetic, they're so easy to copy accidentally. And what I found myself doing was just endlessly kind of half-assed mimicking lots of other pieces of music. And it was so incredibly unfulfilling. And it wasn't until I was asked by Vic, that's Vikram Goody of Elephant Music and of course protege with myself, to just write some piano music. He was like, dude, there's this new TV show called Catfish. They want tons of piano music. Can you give us some tracks? So I had recently just purchased for £3, this amazing library called Felt Piano by Spitfire Labs. This was many years ago now. And it was such an inspiring sound. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna write. I'm not going to think about structure, I'm not going to worry about other instruments, I'm just going to write stuff I like and send that over. And you know what? That was absolutely pivotal. And to this day, I try and think about every project I do in a way that is true to me. So whenever I'm asked to do a Piano Works album, obviously me and Vic have a production talk about where we want the album to go, but I sit down and think, how do I want to shape this? I don't base my actions on others in this instance. And that's very difficult when you have reference tracks. I've talked about this in my Trailing Music Composers podcast about the notion that actually a reference track is just like it's just a mood gist. And too often when you get a reference track, you go, what key is it in? What's the tempo? What instruments? And you get bogged down in the minutiae, but you forget to focus on the feeling of the temp track, of the reference track. And that's what you're trying to do when it comes to not basing your actions on the actions of others. Hold true to what you believe. Hold true to what you want to create. If you are asked to produce music for a dark sound design album, produce something that only you could produce. Do stuff that only you could do. And what you will find, if you do this regularly enough, that you start to feel more confident in your own abilities. I spent so much of my professional career doing Hans Zimmer mock-ups, which was a learning curve in itself, but I felt like I was rubbish because I was just trying to be another composer. But since I've focused on my own stuff, how do I want to record this? I don't worry too much about lots and lots of things in the writing process. I just let it out, and that is me. That's how I approach it. It might not be your approach. And that is what's vital here. Although, yes, I am revealing all of my speech marks secrets to you in these vlogs, my tutorials, my courses, etc. I'm trying to guide you. I'm trying to say, you know what guys, it's not all smoke and mirrors. It's this same chord sequence you use, it's these same sample libraries you use, and it's the same structures you use. But I've got my stamp on it. And that's what you need to do now. You've seen my courses, you've seen my vlogs, you've listened to me blabber on in my podcast, you've heard the interviews I do. Now it's time for you to go, hey, how do I do this? If I want to get into trailer music, how am I going to get into trailer music? Because everybody's trying to do epic hybrid orchestral. Is that really what you want to do? Or do you want to do something different? Because I had this great saying that different is better than better. And I absolutely love that. You know, it's the whole idea of the purple cow. You know, you're driving through fields and fields of cows. You know, by the time, you know, after 5 minutes of seeing loads of cows, you're like bored of all these cows. But then you see a purple cow and go, what? You need to be the purple cow. Not literally, don't go and paint yourself. You need to approach your music in the same way that you are yourself, in the same way that you are unique completely. Your sense of humour, your style, your knowledge, your experience, your emotions, everybody is unique. And we are here to bring this uniqueness forward and help each other forward too. So, it's one of those cliches, but I say it to myself as well. Do not base my actions as a composer on the actions of others. And this is a life lesson, you know. Don't do that just because someone else is doing it. You know, says your parents. But now I'm saying it to you. Don't just do what everyone else is doing because everyone else is doing it. It might completely skyrocket your career if you try something different, something that is truly, uniquely you.